We warmly welcome all of you in this meeting. Today's conference, we have a very learned panel. They will shed light on the topic. And it is early in the morning. Some people, they are on the way and they're stuck in the traffic. Hopefully they will join us. And some panelists are still on the way and they will join hopefully in a few minutes. I warmly welcome each and everybody in this meeting. And we are thankful to United Nations that they allow us to bring our miseries and problem before the United Nations and international community. And despite of renovation and other work, they accepted our request and they accommodated us. Now I would like to introduce first my panel, and then I introduce as well topic, and one by one speaker, they will shed light on the topic. In today's panel, we have Sardar Shaukat Ali Kashmiri. He is the chairman of United Kashmir People's National Party. He is renowned human rights defender, lawyer, and he has been struggling for the rights of the Kashmiri people since he was in school and college. And he was twice kidnapped by Pakistani Inter-Services Intelligence Agency, 1994, first time, and second time in 1998. And Amnesty International and international community, US State Department, United Nations intervened, and ultimately he was released. And we are privileged he is here. He is living in exile since 1999 in Switzerland. And people in Pakistani occupied Kashmir, they are suffering and they are protesting. Since many days they are on street, and there is a blackout in entire state of which part are under the Pakistani control. And we are here to ask United Nations and international community to save the lives of the peaceful protesters over there in so-called Azad Kashmir and Gilgit-Baltistan. And we have Mr. Fazal Rahman Afridi. He is the president of Khyber Institute for Research and Strategic Studies. He is the leader of Pashtun Tahfuz movement. He is based in France, and Pashtun Tahfuz movement is a peaceful organization struggling for the rights of the Pashtun people in Pakistani areas known as Khyber Pakhtunkhwa. We have Mr. Jamil Maqsood. He is the president of Foreign Affairs Committee, United Kashmir People's National Party. He has been participating and contributing to UN Human Rights Council sessions since 28. And we have another activist from Gilgit-Baltistan, Shehbaz Khan. He is the representative of Awami Workers Party. He is based in Germany, and people in Pakistani occupied areas of Jammu and Kashmir, known as Azad Kashmir. I belong from that area, and he is belonging to Gilgit-Baltistan, is next to China border, and Pakistan is not ready to listen the voices of the people. They are also protesting in the streets, people, peaceful movement, peaceful struggle, and whole region is suffering, and all the people are on the streets. And we have another panelist. He will join us. When he joins us, I will introduce him. And today's topic is related to freedom of expression. And because it is the fundamental right that when people have freedom of expression, they can bring their miseries, problem, they can criticize the governments, they can ask to reform, legislate. But unfortunately, some areas of the world, for example, in many countries, many continents, still people, they are denied of this basic fundamental right. Like in many African countries, in Asian countries, in South American countries, when people demand for their basic rights, for gender equality, for right to education, right to health, right to development, states label them anti-religion, anti-national, and this is happening almost each and every region. And particularly I personally belong to that area which is forcibly divided since 1947, known as state of Jammu and Kashmir. And our people, they do not have the right to free movement. Not only the land, but the families are divided since 1947. And this is also a initial and very much a fundamental right that people cannot be stopped to move from one part to another, because these all rights are enshrined in the Universal Declaration for Human Rights. But many member states, despite the members of the United Nations, they are not fulfilling their obligations, international obligations. And apparently, at the international arena, Pakistan says that she is the right to self-determination, champion of the right to self-determination of the people of Kashmir. But under its administration, she is not ready to listen the grievances and voices of the Kashmiris. For example, if somebody wants to contest election, he must sign a oath of loyalty to Pakistan. Otherwise, he or she cannot contest elections. In Pakistani peripheries, in Azad Kashmir, there is a people's rights movement. They call it Awami Action Committee. They are protesting on street for their ownership of the resources and their fundamental rights. They called for a shutdown and wheel jump strike on 29th September, and Pakistan cut off phones, internet, and 3 million Kashmiris are under siege, and 2 million Kashmiris living abroad, they are disconnected with their families. We don't know what is happening there. Some reports came through different means, and one person was shot dead in Zafrabad and several other injured. And people demanding ownership of resources, self-rule, and the basic fundamental rights. But instead giving them rights, Pakistan deployed rangers and extra forces to suppress the voices of these people. We are here to extend our solidarity to them, these people, peaceful movement, and we request to United Nations, all international powers, and we are grateful to US President Donald Trump. At least after 78 years, he said that he is ready to mediate to resolve this issue. This is not a matter of a bilateral issue between India and Pakistan or a territorial issue. This is the matter of the lives of millions of the Kashmiris who are divided, and families cannot meet and interact with each other. A Pakistani can visit India, Indian can visit Pakistan, but a Kashmiri from Indian side of Kashmir cannot travel to Pakistani side of Kashmir, or a Kashmiri living in the under Pakistani administration, he is not ready, he is not allowed to travel to another part of the Kashmir. And these are the sufferings. We have limited time. I would like to give floor to Sardar Shaukat Ali Kashmiri Sahib. He is the chairman of United Kashmir People's National Party. Sir, you have the floor. Yeah. Okay.
I thank you, Mr. Chair, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, I would like to thank you, all of you, for your support and human rights defenders who always raising voice in favor of the civil society spaces and stood against the suppression operations and the government's market. In 1947, actually, two states were created by Britain, that's called India and Pakistan. The state of Jammu Kashmir was before as an one political entity, and our civil and political rights were somehow protected. But after that, Pakistan invaded in state of Jammu Kashmir, and we were forcibly divided. Now we are divided, forcibly divided. And there are hundred people who are forced to live in exile, and civil society voices are have no any space to raise their human rights. Last 2 years, the people who were since many years suppressed by the Pakistani regime's policies, and the indigenous peoples have no any say in the constitutional forums, because the government Pakistan says this is the disputed territory. And according to the Pakistani Constitution, Section 257, that this area is not part and parcel of the state of Jammu Kashmir, but it is illegally ruled by Pakistan. And 4 powerful left officers who came from Pakistan, installed by the government of Pakistan, they are the real ruler of this land, which is known as Pakistan occupied Kashmir or Azad Kashmir. And the people of Pakistan, which was historically part and parcel of the state of Jammu Kashmir, it was separated in 1949, and now it is under direct rule of Pakistan. Both the areas in Gilgit-Baltistan and the Pakistani occupied Kashmir, the political parties, the civil society representatives formed a joint Awami Action Committee, which is the protection and rehabilitations of the people's rights. In the last 2 years, both areas, the people are on the road protesting and asking the government of Pakistan to restore our basic rights. Due to the subjugations, all the tourist resorts were occupied by the military, and our forest lands is allocated to the military. It's not a secret, but it's open in press and everywhere. So, the Pakistan is not ready to listen the voices of its own administrated areas, whereas the Kashmir issue is not a bilateral issue. And United Nations Security Council passed a resolution, and that resolution referred on 13th of August 1948. At that time, it was the Security Council who asked Pakistan to withdraw its all troops, and those people who enter in Kashmir for the purpose of fighting should be withdrawn. And at that time, Pakistan agreed. And the other hand, this resolutions and truce agreement asked India to reduce its forces and give the right to the people. But unfortunately, Pakistan still not comply to the UN resolutions, and we are living under occupation, we are living under suppression, and overall the basic rights is compromised, and all over natural resources is occupied by the Pakistan. So that's why last 2 days, hundreds and thousands of people are on the road, and whole roads are locked down. Pakistan shut down the internet and all those facilities which were related to the social media is now locked down, and there is no news come out. And our relatives and our families are there. We heard that at least 100 people are injured due to the police firings, and 4 people were killed. They are all actually asking not for the independence, but they are asking for employment. They were asking to reduce the inflations. They are asking for the empowerment of the people, and now they are receiving the gun and bullets from the government. So, I think it is a very alarming situation. Pakistan always try to apply the religious sentiment, but today people actually aware of that. These are the tactics of the ruling class, and the military is actually the real ruler of Pakistan and its occupied areas. And now the people is facing worst kind of a persecution. Not only one political party or the other political party, its whole society is in a very alarming situations, because hundreds and thousands of people are arrested, and still whole natural ways and communication is blocked. So I think this is the right time to intervene. United Nations should send a powerful delegations and ask Pakistan to recognize these areas people's genuine grievances and address those. The charter is actually a handover to the Pakistan, but Pakistan is just exploiting, propagating, and one hand they are propagating that, oh, it is the West who actually funding these people, and that's why the people revolted against Pakistan. But it is not the worst. It is the people who actually facing worst kind of persecution and slavery. So an NGO at this moment, the government of Pakistan is not allowed any international media people or any human rights defender to enter that area until and unless she or he will not get permission from the Interior Ministry, and Interior Ministry will only give them to enter in that area who are the proxies of the Pakistan. So the state of Jammu Kashmir people is facing proxy politics, facing proxy wars, and since 1977, our whole state is in a very miserable condition, and our people needs your attentions. And at this moment, this globe, I appeal to the human rights defenders, United Nations, and all those governments who actually believe in human rights. They should intervene and put pressure on Pakistan to change its mind and recognizes the basic issues, basic problems, and give people little bit space so that they can take breaths. And all detainees should be released, and those who were killed by the security forces, their families should be accommodated, and the culprit should brought to the justice, because this is not a way to suppress the voices of the people. It is Pakistan's long history, whether it's Baloch case or Sindhi case or Kashmir case or democratic forces. In Pakistan, the elected prime minister is facing, he is in jail, Imran Khan. Before, he was prime minister of Pakistan, but now he is facing persecutions. 100 of his political colleagues is facing persecutions. So this is the Pakistan. And Pakistan is signatory of all the covenants, but unfortunately in practice, she is denied all human rights charters aims and objective. So it's a gross human rights violations, and that human rights violation is not ignorable. World community, and especially the Human Rights Council, should take note and ask Pakistan to repeal all those draconian laws, which is actually curtail the civil society spaces. And I would like to draw your attention in Ladakh, a very renowned human rights activist, environmentalist, Mr. Sonam Bangchu. He is arrested. So, and he is facing also in Indian jail custody, anti-state laws. Although his credential is very much established, everybody, international community knew that he was working for the environment. He is just asking that government of India should fulfill those promises which she committed with the people of Baltistan, people of Ladakh in 5th August 2019. But now also 4 people were killed during this protest and many were arrested. It is at least India should accept their right and one should be Sonam one should be released. I thank you very much.
Thank you, Sardar Shaukat Ali Kashmiri. Sahib, he was raising issues people facing in Pakistani occupied areas, and as he mentioned, one part is, according to him, 4 people died, and on 13 May 2014, 3 people were killed by Pakistani Rangers in Muzaffarabad, and their families are not compensated till yet, and crimes against humanity are taking place with impunity. If I would like to give floor to Mr. Fazal Rehman Afridi Sahib. He is the activist of PTM, Pashtun Tafiz movement, a peaceful movement struggling for the rights of the Pashtun people. You are the floor.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, for inviting me to elaborate on the topic, which is very important at this crucial juncture, with particular reference to an authoritarian rule in Pakistan, where human rights of different ethnic minorities are violated with impunity, including freedom of expression and right to peaceful assembly. Human rights abuses are more frequent in societies where freedom of expression is stifled, media gagged, and resultantly impunity prevails. It's very important to hold states accountable for human rights violation, to prevent impunity of perpetrators, promote rule of law by punishing those responsible for violations, and provide justice and reparation to victims. Sustainable peace and harmony can only be achieved in a society where there is accountability. International law, International Court of Justice, and UN treaty bodies are there to hold states accountable for human rights abuses. However, countries like Pakistan continue to disregard accountability and commit human rights violations with impunity of marginalized communities and different ethnic minorities like Pashtuns, Baloch, Sindhis, and Kashmiris. For the last 45 years, Pakistan is involved in slow genocide of Pashtuns on both sides of the controversial Durand Line. In the so-called war on terror, Pakistan Army committed gross human rights violations against Pashtun ethnic minority, including enforced disappearances, extrajudicial killings, arbitrary detention, and torture. More than 85,000 Pashtuns were killed, 32,000 forcibly disappeared, and 3.5 million displaced during different time periods. Not a single person or institution was held accountable and punished for these crimes. Due to this lack of accountability, once again, a new war is being imposed on Pashtuns living in Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, Pakistan. Despite our persistent demands from international community through United Nations Human Rights Council here at these conferences and my intervention on general debates, I informed the world that Pakistan has struck a deal with the TTP to be installed in Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, which will result in an increase in radicalization and terrorism in the region. Now, once again, Pakistan has started military operations in Pashtun region, not to eliminate TTP, but to kill innocent Pashtuns and destroy their homes and businesses. In one of its most brutal attack, Pakistan Army's jet fighters, J-17, bombed a small village in Tira Valley of Khyber Agency in Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, resulting in killing of more than 30 innocent children and women and dozens were injured. It's unimaginable that a state member of the United Nations can attack its own civilians in such a brutal way with impunity. This is not an isolated incident. Pashtuns, women and children are killed on daily basis, both by Pakistan and its proxy TTP. Pakistan is using drones, jet bombers, heavy artillery and helicopter gunships against civilian targets. We are sure that through these military operations and the use of brutal and indiscriminate force against civilians, Pakistan is not interested in eliminating terrorism in the area. Rather, it will fuel further radicalization and terror. We request international community to take up this barbaric act with the Pakistan and impose financial and diplomatic sanctions to hold it accountable. European Union should also immediately revoke a GSP plus status to force Pakistan to respect human rights and stop bombing its own civilians. Pakistan arrest those human rights defenders who rally to demand peace, and they are arbitrarily arrested and detained. Prominent human rights defenders like Ali Wazir and Samad Khan are languishing in prisons for the last 2 years. Pashtun Protection Movement, a peaceful, non-violent, anti-war grassroots movement advocating for the human rights of Pashtun ethnic minority in Pakistan, has been banned illegally by Pakistan on October 6, 2024, designating it as a proscribed organization under Section 11B of Anti-Terrorism Act of 1997. The ban violates international law and the Constitution of Pakistan. However, Pakistani government failed to provide evidence against PTM. In the month of October last year, 400 PTM activists were illegally arrested and detained arbitrarily under colonial era 3 MPO. More than 2,300 members of Pashtun Protection Movement have been put on Schedule 4 of Anti-Terrorism Act, meaning they have been declared terrorists, their bank accounts closed, their identity cards and telephones blocked, and they cannot participate in any political activity in Pakistan. Amnesty International and other human rights organizations like Human Rights Commission of Pakistan have criticized this illegal decision of the government of Pakistan. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Fazal Rahman Afridi Saib. And we are here in United Nations in this prestigious building. And we urge the United Nations and international community that they should listen our voices, our miseries, our people are suffering. And this is the matter of their life, because they are struggling for their right of life. And it is high time that international community should come forward and protect the life of the Kashmiris and the Pashtuns and other oppressed nations in the region. Now, I would like to give floor to Mr. Jamil Maqsood. He is the president of Foreign Affairs Committee, UKPNP, and renowned human rights defender. You have the floor. My humble request to all three speakers, you have five minutes. In the end, we will open the floor for short questions and comments. You have the floor, please.
Good afternoon, Mr. President. I take this opportunity to draw your kind attention to bleak and deteriorating human rights situation in Pakistan, administered Azad Jammu Kashmir and in Gilgit-Baltistan. Despite being a party to key international human rights instruments, including the International Convention on Civil and Political Rights, the International Convention on Economic, Social and Cultural Rights, and Convention Against Torture, Pakistan continues to deny the people of these regions basic civil liberties, including judicial independence, political representation, and freedom of expression and assembly. Grave violations persist. Extrajudicial killings and enforced disappearances are widespread. In recent years, minors such as Tawish Zafar, Islam Zubair, and Saad Harun were abducted from Rawalpindi. While in Rawalpindi, Pakistani administered Azad Jammu and Kashmir, Zarnosh and Gibran, the two brothers, were extrajudicially killed by the intelligence agencies. That is sheer violation of the right to life under Article 6 of the International Convention on Civil and Political Rights. We are equally alarmed by the arbitrary detention and torture of students in Court for exercising their legitimate democratic rights. These acts not only violate the Convention Against Torture, but also silence the future voices of both the regions. The Joint Awami Action Committee, an amalgamation of workers, students, political activists, and ordinary citizens, have been peacefully mobilizing for affordable electricity and equitable access to local resources. Instead of dialogue, the Pakistani state has responded with intimidation and repression, violating Article 19, 21, and 25 of the International Convention on Civil and Political Rights, which guarantee freedom of expression, peaceful assembly, and participation in public affairs. Moreover, natural disasters including cloudbursts and floods have exposed severe governmental neglect, crumbling infrastructure, and lack of preparedness threaten both the right to development and right to livelihood and security. Mr. President, in light of these ongoing and systematic violations, and respectfully urge the Council and also the international community to appoint a special rapporteur to monitor human rights situation in Azad Kashmir and Gilgit-Baltistan. We call upon Pakistan to immediately end enforced disappearances, extrajudicial killing, and all forms of harassment and intimidation of civilians under its temporary control. I extend heartfelt condolences and sympathy with the families of those who martyred day before yesterday at the hands of local goons affiliated with the local political party known as Muslim Conference, who opened fire on peaceful protesters. Raja Asad, who is facing military trial in Pakistan, originally hailed from border district of Neelam. I, on behalf of this August conference, urge UNHRC to use its offices to save him from arbitrary punishment. Mr. President, the people in Pakistani peripheries have been deprived of their local language, culture, traditions, and right to development. Exploitation of natural resources in both Azad Jammu and Kashmir and Gilgit-Baltistan is rampant, and blatant human rights violations continue. Peaceful demands of ownership of their natural resources and right to self-rule must be ensured. I request to the United Nations to establish a commission of inquiry to independently and impartially probe into bleak human rights situation in both regions of the erstwhile state of Jammu and Kashmir, currently under the control of Pakistan. The demand of commission of inquiry was also recommended by the UN High Commissioner on Human Rights in 2018 and 2019 reports. At the end, I would emphasize on international community should take serious cognizance of these blatant human rights violations which are going on, which are taking place in Pakistani administered Azad Jammu and Kashmir and also in Gilgit-Baltistan, and the people, the political activists, civil rights activists, human rights defenders, which are facing a fourth schedule, must be lifted up, and all these black laws, draconian laws must be repealed immediately so that people can enjoy their fundamental and basic human rights. I thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Mr. Jamil Mahfouz Saib. And now I would like to give floor to Sherbaz Khan. He is the representative of Awami Workers Party from Gilgit-Baltistan. You have the floor, sir, please.
Respected Chair, distinguished guests,
Accountability of human rights.
non-governmental organizations, UN representations, and international other human rights defenders. Good morning. I speak to you today not merely as a witness, but as a voice echoing from the mountains of Gilgit-Baltistan, a region long shrouded in geopolitical ambiguity, systematically excluded from constitutional rights, and now caught as a storm of resources capture, environmental destruction, and state repression. Gilgit-Baltistan lies in the north region of, often referred to Pakistan, though it's constitutional not a part of it. Tried to unresolved Jammu and Kashmir dispute. Gilgit-Baltistan has been denied representation in Pakistan Parliament and constitutional bodies. It's over 2 million people subjected to law without rights, taxation without representation, and development without consent. A legal and political conundrum. Unlike the 4 provinces of Pakistan, Gilgit-Baltistan remains outside the country constitutional framework. The Supreme Court of Pakistan ruled in 1999 that no tax should be imposed without granting political rights. Yet, it's since 2021, the Federal Board of Revenue (FBR) has been collecting custom duties at Sos Dry Port, GB critical border point with China. These actions defy legal precedents of violate basic democratic principles. And another important, the militarization of trade and treaty. Due to these, NLC, the National Logistic Cell, it's in Sos border. They are illegally captured, and then they collect all taxes from the traders who are trading in Pakistan and abroad. And another important issue, the Awami Action Committee Gilgit-Baltistan, a coalition of national and progressive forces, has called its draconian design facilitated dispersion. There is one law by the Legislative Council from the Gilgit-Baltistan. They, without consent of the people of Gilgit-Baltistan, without the consent with the even the legislative members of the assembly, and then they pass one draconian law in this year, and then they are directed from the this is imported from Islamabad. And another important issue, and the last, there is those who are dare to speak are silenced. A leader of Awami Action Committee include its chairman, Advocate Ihsan Ali, and has been arrested, but now he released, tortured and held for weeks, 5-6 weeks under the anti-terrorist law. The crime organized a grand jirga, its public gathering for traditional assembly to build consent on resisting corporate and military encroachments. The most chilling, on the July 31, prominent political activist and vice chairman of Awami Action Committee, Javed Qureshi, Javed Nambardar, widely known as the Nambardar Javed, was assassinated in broad daylight in the Tangir Valley. The state has labeled it as an honor killing. At the last, I have some points. We call upon its international forum. Recognize Gilgit-Baltistan a disputed territory without constitutional representation. Urge Pakistan to honor UN resolution on Kashmir and Gilgit-Baltistan. Give internal autonomy to the region. Halt land grabs and revoke the Land Reforms Act 2025. Demand as an independent judicial inquiry into the assassination of Javed Nambardar. Pressure to Pakistan release all political prisoners and in misuse of anti-terror law or schedule for in Gilgit-Baltistan. Support communities' demand for environmental justice and development projects. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Sherbaz Khan. Now I would like to give floor to Dr. Aya Joseph, President and Chief Executive, Center for Human Rights and Peace Advocacy. He is a renowned human rights defender, long associate, supporter of the oppressed nations, particularly people of Jammu and Kashmir. And he is expert on UN mechanism and international criminal justice system. and we hope someday he will represent us in
And so it is important, therefore, for the citizens of every country, particularly in the case of Pakistan that we are talking about, to know the instruments, all the instruments that the state has signed and ratified, and all the instruments that the state has incorporated into their national laws, so they can hold the state accountable for this. The second thing would be that when we look at the legal framework, we would also be saying that the legal framework, when it is not protective of the people, then violations are bound to continue to exist. The legal framework must be protective of the people. The legal framework must be in a way that it should prevent further violations of human rights. And so the legal framework is handled by a very important body, which are the courts and some institutions. The court interprets, therefore, the law, international and national law, for the benefit of the citizen, not just to punish, not just to be arbitrary, but to be able to prevent and to protect the victims and hold the perpetrators accountable. And so we want to say that, you must guide me, sir,
Yeah,
because
2-3 minutes.
I might slide into your time.
Yeah.
I want to say that the judiciary is the key. And when we are talking about the judiciary, we are also talking about the United Nations. We know that the Human Rights Council, which is an par excellence a judicial body, whereby all states, members of the United Nations, file in their periodic report and then file in their state report to the different treaty bodies that is under the mandate of the Human Rights Council. And from the Human Rights Council, we are also going into international courts, the Nuremberg Court, the International Court of Justice, the International Criminal Court. Now, how do this function? They function with complaints filed in by individuals and by institutions. And therefore, it is important that NGOs continue to monitor, continue to document violations of human rights so that they can be able to bring to this institution, as we are bringing now, for this institution to take their responsibility by holding the state accountable, by holding the state to redress human rights violation, protect the victim, repair damages, and then punish the perpetrator. I want to thank you so much, Mr. Moderator.
Thank you very much, sir, for your comprehensive and very impressive presentation. We urge United Nations to ask Pakistan to restrain use of force against the peaceful protesters in Pakistani occupied Kashmir, known as Azad Jammu and Kashmir and Gilgit-Baltistan. And we asked India, Pakistan, that they should not impose unilaterally their decision on the people of Kashmir, and because we are living human beings and we deserve the same right as Indian, Pakistani, or any other citizen of this globe is deserving. What they did in 5th August 2019, and against that people were protesting and everybody has grievances, and Jammu and Kashmir Assembly passed a resolution that special status of Jammu and Kashmir and statehood should be restored. And we urge India, as the largest democracy of the world, she should listen the voices of Kashmiris. As Sardar Shaukat Ali Kashmiri sahab mentioned, situation is very worse in the Ladakh as well. People are protesting there for their rights. People are protesting in so-called Azad Kashmir and Gilgit-Baltistan. International community should intervene. We thank to UN Secretary General. He played a very crucial role when there was a crisis between India and Pakistan, and there was a fear of potential nuclear war because Kashmir is caught between 3 nuclear powers, India, Pakistan, and China. This issue should be resolved according to United Nations resolution as per the wishes of the people of Kashmir. They cannot impose their decisions on Kashmir, whether it is India, Pakistan, or any other country. Now I would like to open this floor. If somebody has question or short comment, please introduce yourself, and you have only 1 minute, sir. Please. Yeah, you have the floor, sir. Yeah, in the middle you can press a golden one. Yeah.
Yes. My name is Mehmet Şükrü Güzel. Just 1 minute.
Yeah.
So today's problem of Jammu Kashmir and Ladakh is originating from the omission of the UN Security Council, because the problem of Jammu Kashmir when is sent to UN Security Council is a decolonization case. And today it's an unfinished decolonization case. And what is the solution? And it must be added to the decolonization. The decolonization committee cannot decide this by its own self. And there is a need for a resolution from the UN General Assembly. And the real politics will never give any chance for the states from they don't want to be against India and Pakistan. Real politics we must also take into account. There is only one solution. Because under Chapter 73, paragraph E, the states, if they are the administrative states appointed, they should send a report to the Secretary General. So all the Kashmiris, as a legal right, even India and Pakistan do not send reports. They can send reports subject to Chapter 11, Article 73, paragraph E, to the Secretary General. And ask for the Secretary General, the only legal solution is implementing Article 99 of the UN Charter to organize a committee to decide, to define the legal status of Jammu, Kashmir, and Ladakh, and send it to the Security Council for the implementation of peace. I thank you.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Rahman Khalil, yeah, please, you have the floor. Mid वाला नहीं इसमें मिड वाला उसमें golden, yeah. Yes, sorry.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Nasir, this time to give the floor. Today is a very important, very significant topics, accountability for the human rights violation. This accountability we are talking when the most of human rights perpetrators, they are never accountable. I am Rahman Khalil on behalf of Bangladeshi human rights of the Bangladeshi diaspora. I am talking, I have feedback on 1971, when the Pakistani military had been killed 3 million people for the war, and innocent peoples, and more than 3 lakhs women have been raped. Pakistan never be apologizes and never be accountable in the international way. That's the Pakistan is now the perpetrators, the violations of the human rights in Balochistan, in Sindh, in Kashmir, Jammu, all of the Pakistan, the innocent peoples are killing by the atrocities by the Pakistan military and their generals. So very important now, the Pakistan 1971, what have been genocide in Bangladesh, they should be accountable. They should be apologized to the Bangladesh peoples, and they should be the United Nations should be resolution that genocide in 1971, Pakistan is the perpetrators. So is now ongoing. Maybe Mr. Nasir Khan addressing the India, Pakistan. Also, you have to know the situation in Bangladesh last 1 year. From 5th August 2024, there was a terrorist attack, and our previous democratic government have been left from the country. And now the Dr. Yunus, he is the leader of the terrorists, and the Shahbaz Khan, who is the terrorist leader in the Pakistan, both are make the collaboration to make the one terrorist country like before. So we have to recall to the United Nations to please attention, and if the country, the Pakistan and Bangladesh will become a terrorist country like Taliban country in Afghanistan, the Southeast Asia is going on the danger. So thank you so much. And at the end, I am telling all of my audience, my guests, please come on to participate our Friday at afternoon 3 o'clock side event in Bangladesh. We have to discussion what going in Bangladesh right now. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. And this is unfortunate that the extremist and radical groups, they are rising in the South Asia, and we are also the victim of these extremist groups in Pakistani occupied Kashmir. On 5th February, so-called Solidarity Day with the people of Kashmir, Pakistan celebrates this day, and they brought Hamas leaders in the Pakistani occupied Kashmir, and they were roaming in the streets of the Rawalakot, Poonch with the sophisticated weapons. And the whole society is hijacked by these people, state and non-state actors, and these extremist groups. They are acting and killing people with impunity, and international community and UN should ask Pakistan to fulfill its obligation, what is enshrined in UN Human Rights Declaration on Human Rights. Please, anybody else has? Yeah, please.
Thank you. I'm Nurul Islam Jamana from Bangladesh, and human rights defender. We know always here discussion that Pakistan is a terrorist country in our region. So one thing I want to talk with that, always you know that Pakistan's government is backed by the brutal American army, and they are always backed by marking deep state policy, deep conspiracy. So in this region, there are a lot of countries. I mean, Bangladesh, my country also. I mean, Jammu Kashmir, Balochistan, Pashtun, Sindh, and other regional country are suffering against the suffering by the brutal torture army of Pakistan. So why we should not take a movement together to stop them and talk in front of the international community to take action? Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Sardar Shaukat Kashmiri साहब इधर है माइक ये मिड में इसमें.
Thank you again. Actually, we are not against any country, any nation state, but we are asking nation state to behave like a nation state, not theocracy state, not suppression. And we are against slavery. We are against those who plunder our resources. So, United Nations should intervene anywhere there is gross human rights violations. In Bangladesh, yes, we endorse that it was a coup against a democratic elected government. And now the current regime is not ready to hold the elections. And in the union, in everywhere, the Bangladeshi people are facing. We are not subscribing any politics which actually harm the people's rights. And in our areas, witness to many of the human rights defenders, I was always here explaining that Pakistan, there in our areas, Pakistan used our territory as a launching pad for the proxy war, and that terrorist infrastructure is still intact, and all the terrorists who use religion as weapon are roaming around and harassing our people, our media, our people, human rights defenders are facing worst kind of a persecution. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. Dr. Joseph, you have 30 seconds, please.
30 seconds. I want
Yes.
to say that when human rights violation is perpetrated by the state constantly, and irrespective of the fact that they have been drawn, the attention have been drawn, it therefore means that the group, especially states like Jammu Kashmir that have been suffering since 1947, therefore has the right to self-determine, to seek for self-determination. And this is where we are. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. By this, we conclude this meeting, and thank you each and everybody for your presence, your participation, and we are greatly appreciate and honor your commitment for the promotion and protection of human rights. We shall continue our struggle until we get our rights, equal rights, gender equality, and peace in this meeting. Thank you very much for giving us this space.